To remain obedient to Jehovah faced with Philistine aggression, Saul fails to obey Jehovah and wait for Samuel's arrival, offering sacrifices himself. Samuel tells him that because of this his kingdom will not last. Saul defeats the Amalekites, but he disobediently preserves alive King Agag and the best of the animals. Samuel tells Saul he is rejected by Jehovah as king and that obedience is more important than sacrifice. David comes to prominence, and this angers Saul. 16. 1. 20. 42 Samuel anoints David, and Jehovah's spirit leaves Saul. David becomes a harpist for Saul to soothe him when disturbed. David kills the Philistine champion Goliath, and a deep friendship develops between David and Saul's son Jonathan. Placed over Saul's warriors, David gains repeated victories and is celebrated in song more than Saul. Saul becomes jealous twice. Saul's attempts to kill David fail, as does his scheme to have David die at the hands of the Philistines while procuring the bride price for Saul's daughter Michal. Despite his promise to Jonathan, Saul for a third time tries to kill David, and David flees to Samuel at Ramah. Jonathan unsuccessfully tries to intercede for David with his father. He warns David, and he and David make a covenant. David's life as a fugitive. 21. 1. 27. 12 At Nob, high priest Ahimelech gives David food and Goliath's sword. David then flees to Gath, where he escapes harm by acting insane. He takes refuge in the cave of Adullam and then in the forest of Hereth. Saul has Ahimelech and everyone in Nob killed. Ahimelech's son Abithar survives and comes to David. David saves Keilah from Philistines, but afterward he leaves the city to avoid being surrendered to Saul. Neotextoi acute miritra longo. Samuel, books of 853. Serving alive King Agag and the best of the Amalekite flock and herd. In response to Saul's plea, Samuel appeared with him before the older men of Israel and the people. After that Samuel commanded that Agag be brought to him. On then went hacking him to pieces before Jehovah in Gilgal. 1 15. 10-33. Anoints David. When the two men parted, they had no further association. Samuel, however, went into mourning for Saul. But Jehovah God interrupted his mourning, commissioning him to go to Bethlehem to anoint one of the sons of Jesse as Israel's future king. To avoid any suspicion on Saul's part that might result in Samuel's death, Jehovah directed that Samuel take along a cow for sacrifice. Perhaps fearing that Samuel had come to reprove or punish some wrongdoing, the older men of Bethlehem trembled. But he assured them that his coming meant peace and then arranged for Jesse and his sons to share in a sacrificial meal. Impressed by the appearance of Jesse's firstborn Eliab, Samuel reasoned that this son must surely be Jehovah's choice for the kingship. But neither Eliab nor any of the other 6 sons of Jesse present had been chosen by Jehovah. Therefore, at Samuel's insistence, the youngest son,